What up, the world of Facebook? Coming at your ass again with the truth. Most of y'all are still absorbed by the misconception of life. But yeah, here I am, living in paradise, laboring to the people through my man-made ministries with the assistance of the immortal angels in heaven, who are all under the guidelines of the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel like speaking of the economy crisis that some still think we're still in. And, I've noticed a lot of businesses going out of business. But what is the number one cause of the economy crisis? Well, my opinion, and I feel it's a fact, that the number one cause is the lack of people, or the lack of American citizens, or the lack of human existence in the United States of America. Because if you have less people in a country slash civilization, then, excuse me, if you have less people in a country slash civilization, then you will have less employees for corporations. And if there's less employees for corporations, then there's less money that these corporations are making to put in the bank of America, which is, one of the famous ones. See, let me explain this thoroughly so it becomes more vivid. We all receive a birth certificate. Ever since the United States of America filed bankruptcy internationally during the times of the Great Depression in the 30s. Now, with that said, when someone dies, you receive a death certificate. The death certificate sort of coexists with the birth certificate, only to explain whether or not if this individual is still living. It is only a verification process to undergo if you are part of the federal government, especially, to determine if people in general are still living. So since there's a lot of death certificates calculated today more than ever before, only means we have an economy crisis. But why are there death certificates? Because people are dying, and some of our own government officials are killing us with false information in reference to longevity and prosperity. Excuse me. So, if the government, any government on planet Earth, provides you with false information in reference to longevity and prosperity, only means one will not receive this longevity and prosperity to the fullest extent. You could say they fall short of the glory of God. Yep, that's what I would say. And this is what happens when you put faith in these government officials. When you're only supposed to put faith in the words of God. Now, some of these government officials work as angelic forces for the higher beings in space. But if we are not cooperatively living in accordance to the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ, then we will have an economy crisis. Because people / humanity will decrease until you have channel 0, meaning extinction. I refuse to die. Shit. If everybody else wants to die, or let's say if all the human beings that view my sermons and they decide to ignore me, basically because they feel that I am technically mentally ill, which really I'm not, because I use more brain capacity than the average bear, where the average person only uses 10% of their brain capacity, which is the left hemisphere of the coexistence called a brain. Because you have 2 hemispheres, and a lot of us know that, even the blind. So since most individuals are logical creatures primarily, see, you should be logical secondarily. Primarily, you should be one of love / imagination, then logical. Creating a perfect paradise for anyone to perceive. Like Pac said, even if you're blind, you can still see my prophecy. Now, what I do is to fix my nation. So eat right and you will live long. Be a vegetarian and you will live long. Separate yourself from all the harmful agents that may cause a detrimental situation, which will only lead to death. See, I am the meat which will inherit the earth. At times I can get viciously angry, but I bet there's always a justifiable cause. But yo, live for today if you want to live to see tomorrow.